are 10 things that traders learn far too late in their journeys. Not knowing these 10 things will jeopardize your trading future. All you have to do is follow exactly what I share in this video. Number 9 is the most common trap that I'm seeing most traders fall into nowadays. The first thing that traders learn far too late in their journey is that you have to prioritize your health. When you first get into trading and you're super excited and you're elated about all the money you could potentially make, it's an easy trap to fall into, to not sleep, to not prioritize what you eat, to no longer go to the gym, to not have a priority on your health. Successful trading is about the long game. It's about sticking with a strategy and a style for long enough for your edge to play out to finally reap profitability. And then it takes time, it takes years to continue to scale your funded accounts and to scale personal or private capital. It takes time to be a successful trader. So if you're not prioritizing your health, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not eating quality foods, if you're not drinking enough water, if you're not minimizing alcohol and caffeine and those types of things and moderating those unhealthy habits, then you're not going to be able to sustain your health. You're not going to be able to sustain your focus and your performance and your energy levels to reap long-term success as a trader. So throughout this year, make sure you prioritize quality sleep. You prioritize eating whole foods and quality foods and getting enough food at the right times. You prioritize drinking lots and lots of water, and you do your best to cut out unhealthy habits like moderating alcohol, moderating caffeine, moderating smoking, moderating all those types of things that you know have an adverse effect on your focus and your performance. And if you prioritize your health, you're going to be able to come to the charts more focused, in a better state of mind, being able to execute on your trading plan consistently, and you're going to significantly increase the probability of being a consistently profitable trader this year. The second thing that most traders learn far too late in their journey is that you need to have a clear mechanical trading plan. A lot of traders think they can just come to the markets and wing it. But the truth is, consistent profitability comes from the consistent execution of your edge. If every time you come to the market, you trade slightly differently and you're not consistently adhering to a specific edge in the market, you can't expect consistent long-term results. If you're leaving your decision-making up to how you feel that day, you can't expect consistent profitability. You can't expect consistent results. So it's crucial that you have a trading plan with your entry, your exit, and your risk management laid out, and you know exactly what you're executing on in every step of the trading workflow, and that's all clearly laid out. You've tested that, and you know with certainty that if you come to the market and execute on this trading plan, you will have consistent profitability in the future, because that's what's been shown in back-tested data. Now, I have a completely free trading plan template. This is the exact template that I teach six-figure traders to implement into their trading. It shows you exactly what you need to have in your trading plan, from your entry, your management to your risk, and all the minute details in between. If you would like that, it's the first link in the description, so make sure you go down there and download it and you fill out that trading plan template to ensure that you have consistent profitability this year with your trading. The other thing I've noticed after working with and observing thousands of traders is that those who are more emotional in the market, those who are more run by fear and greed and irrational decision making and have their monkey heightened when they're trading, are those who don't have clear plans. They don't have a clear trading plan that outlines exactly what they should do in that moment. And they're overwhelmed. And what happens when you're overwhelmed is your brain goes more into a survival state where the blood glucose and oxygen goes into your amygdala, and you become more of an animal that reacts to the external environment reactively, as opposed to a very poised trader who knows exactly what they're doing in that situation because they've planned, they've prepared, they've seen the scenario go up, and they've seen the scenario happen over and over and over again, so they just know what they're doing. So by having a plan and having a trading plan in there that's been tested and you have certainty in, you automatically quiet the amygdala down, the emotional part of your brain. You send the blood glucose and oxygen literally on a biochemical level to the prefrontal cortex, which is the more executive part of your brain, and you are more calm, you're more relaxed, and you increase the probability of just sticking to your trading plan and seeing the market clearly. And you're more in a thrival state as opposed to a survival state. Now, the third thing that most traders learn far too late in their trading journey is that you should measure the outcome after 100, if not 1,000 trades, as opposed to one individual trade. Think about it this way. When you go off and backtest your strategy and you go and develop your edge, you don't just look at one or two setups and then make a judgment on whether your strategy is profitable or not from those one or two setups. You test hundreds of trades, if not thousands of trades, and you deduce whether your trading edge is profitable or not after the larger sample space. You have a look at all the data and you see, all right, over these 100 trades, maybe I lost 40% of them or 50% of them. And I had this type of risk to reward, a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 on average. So that strategy is profitable. But you make that judgment over a larger sample space of data. So to then forward trade in the market and to then make a judgment whether you're a good trader or not, or a profitable trader or not after one or two trades just doesn't make any sense. The same mentality that you bring to backtesting and deducing whether your strategy is profitable over a larger sample space is the exact mentality that you have to bring to your trading when you're trading in the real life market. Don't judge the outcome good or bad after one trade. Put that one trade in context of the next 100 trades and the next thousands of trades, and recognize that trading is a probability model. You have to both win and lose to be a consistently profitable trader. Your edge requires you to win sometimes and lose sometimes. But what's important is that your edge is profitable, and you know that because you've proven it through back-tested data and you have your trading plan there to rely on. And then every single trade you take, focus on adhering to the trading plan and focus on being stoic and unencumbered and carefree about what the outcome is on that individual trade. Because it's not about the next individual trade, it's about the larger sample space. So detach from the individual outcome, focus on the larger sample space. The next thing that traders learn far too late in their journey is that it's not about the outcome. It's not about being right on the next individual trade, similar to what we were just talking about before. Traders need to learn to shift from outcome-based thinking to what I call process-based thinking. They need to learn to detach from the outcome of an individual trade and train this thought process of, I'm just going to stick to the process, irrespective of what the outcome is. You see, nobody can predict what's going to happen next in the market. So to hold in your mind a certain outcome that you want in the market and that you expect from the market is completely silly. You're expecting something that you have absolutely no control over. You have no control over the outcome of the next individual trade. There are just too many factors in the financial markets to have any control over what's going to happen next. So to put your focus and your energy and your attention on the outcome of the next trade, you're just setting yourself up with unrealistic expectations to be emotional. So rather, instead of focusing on what you have no control over, focus on the process. Focus on developing an edge, putting that edge into a mechanical trading plan, and then adhering to that trading plan. And every decision you make as a trader needs to be, does this align with my trading plan? What does my trading plan show in this particular moment? And build such certainty in your ability to stick to your trading plan, because you know if you do that, you're going to end up profitable as a trader. And really, once you have your trading plan, your job as a trader is to manage your psychology, the fear and greed, to ensure that you stick to your trading plan. Now, there's a particular process that I take my traders through, and this particular process has been one of the biggest reasons these traders have secured more than $5 million in funding. And what I teach them to do is I teach them to become aware of any expectations they have on an outcome of an individual trade. And I teach them to have that awareness and then to question that expectation in their mind before they take a trade, and then guide them to sticking to their trading plan. I found that most traders don't build consistent profitability because they're not sticking to their plan. The reason they're not sticking to their plan is because of these unrealistic expectations in the outcome. So what I did was I created a free tool called the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool. And I want to give that to you. I want you to start implementing it before every single trade you take. If you do, you're going to start to emulate the results of some of my clients, some of my students, and that's going to only benefit you this year. So go into the link in the description. It'll be the second link in the description. Go and download that tool, and that tool is going to help you transition from an outcome-based thinking trader to a process-based thinking trader. It's going to help you become less emotional in the market. It's going to help you adhere to your trading plan. And as a result, it's going to help you build consistent profitability. The next thing that traders learn far too late in their trading journey is to start being more skeptical. It's to stop believing all this stuff you see on social media and all this marketing and all this hype, and to learn to see through the dust and to learn to see through the sensationalism, to see the essence of what things really are. And skeptical thinking is a key characteristic that I've seen of the most successful traders. So what I encourage traders to do is to utilize negative thinking and skepticism to become more aware of situations. Prior to the recent situation with my Forex funds with the prop firm going under, you can see in earlier interviews, I was talking about there are drawbacks, there are disservices, there are risks to prop firms. You have to be aware of those in advance. And what I noticed my best students were doing is they recognized that they didn't want to be vulnerable to one of these prop firms, because if they went under, then they would lose all their capital. So what they did is they were aware of the drawbacks and the risks of prop firms, recognizing that there were true risks there because they were skeptical. And then what they did was they diversified their prop firms. They had prop firms in multiple different regions and multiple different continents, so they weren't vulnerable to that. And then when one of the prop firms did go under, they only had a portion of their capital with that one prop firm. So they utilize what I call negative thinking, and they utilize skepticism to be aware of the drawbacks in advance, and they planned and prepared for those. They had contingencies. They were aware of the drawbacks so they could prepare for them. What I see many traders are doing is they're caught by the sensationalism. They're caught by the marketing and the hype. And they're thinking that there's an all positive thing out there. There's an all good, a fantasy out there. And they're not prepared for the reality of what it is. They're not prepared for both sides of what it is. Prop firms is a great example of this. Anything, going full-time is a great example of this. You have to be aware of the drawbacks of being a full-time trader. You have to be aware of the drawbacks of being a funded trader, because they're there whether you're aware of them or not. It's better to be aware of them in advance and plan and prepare contingencies for them, so that if those drawbacks do come true, you act on your contingencies as opposed to being reactive and vulnerable to those drawbacks. So start using more negative thinking, start using more skepticism in your trading, so that you're aware of a situation. You see both, yes, the benefits, there are great benefits to being a full-time trader. There are great benefits to being a funded trader, but there are also drawbacks and risks that you need to be aware of. The next thing that traders learn far too late in their journey is that it's going to take a little bit of time to build consistent income from your trading. So it's incredibly important to at least have some cash savings in there. Better yet, have an additional source of income, a part-time or a full-time job. To expect a consistent paycheck from trading and from the markets just don't operate like that. The markets move on their own time frame, on their own time scale, and the markets do what they want to do. Too many traders bring this employee mindset into trading, and they think that if I do this amount of hours as a trader, I'm going to make this amount of money. But that's just not the case. That's not how the market operates. So it's incredibly important, especially early on in your journey, until you can consistently get payouts or pull money from the market, you have a part-time or a full-time income through a job or through a business, and you have cash savings there. The income and the cash savings are a psychological buffer. They take care of your psychology, so you feel like when you're trading, or rather you feel like you don't have to make money as a trader. And the reason this is so important is that as a trader, you don't want to feel like you have to make money on the next individual trade, because nobody knows the outcome of the next individual trade. If you have to make money from your trading, chances are you're going to be pushed into outcome-based thinking. You're going to act irrationally. You're going to make emotional decisions through the desire to have to make money on the next individual trade. And there's a whole host of problems. So it's incredibly important that you have cash savings and ideally an additional source of income to take care of financial situation, to take care of bills and rent and that type of stuff. And that puts you in the best possible state of mind to come to the market and execute consistently on your processes. And over a long period of time, 6 to 12 months, let your edge play out. And that's ultimately where you'll reap the rewards as a trader. The next thing that traders learn too late is to live a balanced lifestyle. Anytime you're disempowered in any of the areas of life, you're gonna have consequences there. For example, if you put all your focus on your trading and all you do is you trade and you don't work on your relationships, you don't give enough attention to your friends or your spouse or your partner or your parents or your kids, there are going to be volatilities in your relationships. There are going to be arguments. There are going to be challenges there. And those challenges in your relationships, for example, are going to affect you, and ultimately it's going to affect your trading. So any of the areas of life that you're disempowered in is ultimately going to affect your ability to come to the market and perform well as a trader. If you don't take care of your health and you become, you get a lot of brain fog, or you feel sick, or you feel sluggish, or you feel unhealthy, then that's going to affect your performance as a trader. If you don't sleep well, that's going to affect your performance as a trader. And if you don't have income taken care of, if you don't have a source of income, or you don't have cash savings, then that's going to affect your mindset that you bring to the market. You're going to be more in outcome-based thinking. You're going to be more desperate to make money as a trader, and that's ultimately negatively going to affect your trading performance. So you need to focus on living a balanced life and empowering all areas of life, because if you don't, there's going to be volatilities in those areas and they're going to impact your trading performance. So it's very, very important, what I teach my students, to focus on setting goals in all areas of life, in your health, in your mental, in your relationships, in your income, in your business. Go through all areas of life and empower yourself holistically, set goals and high priority actions for all areas of life, and execute on those consistently. And then you have your trading there as well, your goals and your focus with your trading, which you consistently execute on every single day. So you empower all areas of life as well as your trading, as opposed to just putting all your energy into your trading, being disempowered in the other areas, and those areas affecting your trading. So live a balanced life and a balanced lifestyle. The next thing that traders learn far too late in their journey is that it's important to have a small tribe, a small support network. And the support network's there when you have your lowest of lows. They're going to lift you up. And they're also there when you have your highest of highs. They're going to keep you humble. They're going to keep you grounded. And they're going to keep you in check to ensure that you focus on doing what's necessary as a trader, which is showing up the next day and executing on your process. Having a small tribe there is a crucial step of any trader's journey. And it's very, very important that you have a small group of trusted individuals, traders or not, but ideally traders that understand the journey, and you build a relationship with them. You foster a relationship with them. You offer them value and you get value back from them. And you can find a lot of like-minded people in communities. You can build relationships with them. Just don't fall too much into the trap of exchanging analysis and trying to get into the same trades, because you may see the market slightly differently to them. So it's ideally you focus on doing your own trading and you have them there and they have you there as a support network for the psychology to keep you on track. The ninth thing that traders learn far too late in their journey, and this is one of the biggest traps that I'm seeing traders fall into right now, is to stop admiring social media traders. There's a huge craze for trading on social media at the moment. And of course, people on social media are going to put their best foot forward. They're going to market themselves as best they can. But it's important to recognize that every individual has two sides to them. They've got a side they want to show off. They've got a side they want to put on social media. They also have a side that they don't want to show off. They don't want people to know about. They don't put on social media. So what ends up happening is when you're looking through social media, you only get the best side of an individual. You don't see the other side. And then if you compare your results and you compare your life to them, it's completely unrealistic, because you're aware of both sides of yourself and you're comparing yourself to a one-sided facade. You're going to beat yourself up and you're going to ask yourself, why am I not as good as this individual? The truth is you are, but the individual isn't putting both sides of themselves out. So it's important to recognize that you don't want to compare yourself to other people on social media. You're on your own journey, you got your own path. And the more certainty you have in your own path, the less likely you are to look at other people on social media. Now, it's also smart to look at other people and be like, cool, I really admire and respect what you're doing, and I would like to do something similar. So I'm going to use you as motivation. I'm going to learn from you. I'm going to study what you've done. But ultimately, the way I get there is my own journey. It's my own path. And it's important to recognize that social media is a great tool, but there's also and can be a destructive side of it if you use it incorrectly. So be mindful of that. Stop comparing yourself to other individuals on social media. Recognize they're just human beings at the end of the day, and focus on your own journey. And the 10th thing that traders learn far too late in their journey is that it's important to have a vision beyond your trading. It's important to have a vision beyond just getting one funded account. I'm working with a client at the moment who says that every time they get one funded account, they find a way to blow up, and they get careless and they get complacent and they stop doing the work that got them there in the first place. And you have to understand that if in your mind, your end goal as a trader is to just be a funded trader, the moment you get that, you don't see anything further in your mind. You've got no reason to come back to the market the next day or to show up the next day and to execute consistently. There's no motivation. There's nothing else you really want to accomplish in your mind. So what's important is to expand your vision for your trading and recognize that just getting one funded account is a stepping stone. It's the first step. There are multiple paths beyond that. So what I suggested to this trader is expand your vision. And instead of just wanting one funded account, set the goal to have 5 different companies, $500,000 accounts with 5 different companies. Then the next step, trade that consistently for 12 months. Use that to build a track record. And then the next step, use that track record to go off and pitch private investment, $2 million investment. So expand your vision, and you see once this individual gets one funded account, okay, great, but I still have 4 more to go, and they stay motivated, they stay with the action steps. And then once they've accomplished the 5, then the next step is trading that consistently, getting payouts from it consistently to build that track record. And then the next step is to go off and pitch to grow the private fund. And then you can expand that beyond that. And then when you have the private fund, what philanthropic projects you're going to work on? How can you then use that capital and that and the profits you make from that to do even grander projects that impact other people? So the point here is continue to expand your vision beyond your trading and continue to have goals and things that stretch you and hold you accountable to show up every single day and to put the work in to continue to develop and grow as an individual. So these are the 10 things that traders learn far too late in their journeys. If you resonated with any of these, please drop a comment, let me know which one, and share these with your trading friends that you know will get value from it. Thank you for watching to the end. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.